Welcome. You're listening to the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast, creatively engineered by Nicole, the inspiration specialist. I'm Wired to Inspire is a powerfully packed 5-minute podcast filled with inspiration and encouragement to get you through your day. It's designed to inspire you to live your authentic purpose. Now stay tuned for your host, Nicole, the inspiration specialist, on today's episode of I'm Wired to Inspire.
You're listening to the Black Excellence Expose with Nicole, the inspiration specialist. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Black Excellence Expose. And today we are going to highlight 3 more dope human beings of color, and we will tell you about their accomplishments and the things that they've done to add value to this world. So guys, I'm going to jump right in. Oh, before I jump right in, excuse me, I always ask a question after I give the explanation of each person. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Make sure you stay tuned because I want you to ponder the question. Now, guys, it's the same 3 questions every single time. And I'm only doing that because I never want you to forget that it's always something bigger than us going on. We always want to find a way to make our mark in the world. And remember, it does not have to be huge where the whole world knows about it, but it has to be something where you know you're doing what God led you to do. Because this is always about giving him the most glory. We always want to give God the glory. We never want to make it about ourselves. And we want to be able to be the people that God has called us to be. And we definitely want to take part in that by using the gifts and talents that he's given us. So now I'm going to jump right in with our first person that we're going to highlight. And her name is Dame Eugenia Charles. She was born on May 15th, 1919, and she passed away on September 6th, 2005. Now, she was the first female attorney of Dominica. She was the only female prime minister there. She served as head of state longer than any other prime minister of Dominica. She was actually a founding member of the Dominica Freedom Party in the 1970s and led it for over 2 decades. She worked with U.S. President Ronald Reagan to orchestrate the 1983 United States invasion of Grenada, dedicated herself to the reconstruction of housing, roads, and other infrastructure destroyed by Hurricane David. And she was a conservative in most policies. Her inflexible views led her to be nicknamed the Iron Lady of the Caribbean. So clearly Miss Dame was a savage, and she played no games with her political views and what she felt, to be important so that she can get her point across. And I actually did not know that there was a black woman prime minister anywhere for that matter. So that actually blessed me. And it was a great thing to hear because, again, some of this stuff, we'll hear some things about people, guys, and we didn't even know they existed. We had no idea that these types of things were going on anywhere in the world with people of color. So that actually brings me to the first question of the day, and that is, can you create a need? What exactly is it that you have? Or if not create a need, can you fulfill a need? I think that's a better way to phrase it. Can you fulfill a need? Is there something that you are aware of where you see that there's a consistent problem and there needs to be a solution? Can you provide a solution? That's something I want you to think about, because no matter who you are or where you are in life, you can add value to somebody, and you just may be sleeping on it because it doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. Okay. But I need you to think about that, because you never know how God can use you. Now that takes me to number 2, and that is Mr. Granville Woods and the railway telegraph. In 1887, he patented the railway telegraph, which allowed communications between train stations regarding moving trains. Granville T. Woods' invention made it possible for trains to communicate with the station and with other trains so they knew exactly where they were at all times. Now, he was born in Columbus, Ohio in 1856, and he dedicated his whole life to developing a variety of inventions relating to the railroad industry. Woods invented more than a dozen devices to improve electric railways, cars, and many more for controlling the flow of electricity. Man, that's dope. I thought it was just about the one invention, but to hear that he actually had multiple inventions is really incredible. Let's see. It also says that his most noted inventions was a system for letting the engineer of a train know how close his train was to others. The device helped cut down on accidents and collisions between trains. Wow. Like I said, multiple inventions, not just one. Guys, that takes me to my second question for you. What have you learned that you can teach someone else? Now, he had multiple inventions. So just that alone, that's another teachable moment right there. He had multiple inventions. Guys, when you figure out the thing that you can do to add value, that is going to be your game changer, because once you put your stuff out there and you realize, hey, this is the stuff that I've learned, I'm going to put it out. Whatever he learned, he put it out multiple times. He just kept putting it out in different inventions, but it was on a similar topic, pretty much the railway system, and he was just able to cultivate from that. So that's why I ask you guys, what have you learned that you can teach other people? Once he learned about railways and trains, he just started creating things around that. That's why I'm saying, y'all, I say this every single day. Do not get caught up in thinking that you're not good enough. Listen, everybody got to start as a nobody. Nobody comes in the game, boom. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work like that. And I think sometimes we look at people in the chapter that they're on, and then we use it as a barometer to compare where we are. And it's really unfair. Like you set yourself up to lose, y'all. You have to do this thing from where you are, and you have to find value in what you've learned. And if you can find a way to teach that or to put it out there, well, then so be it. Listen, you may have the information and you may be led to share it with somebody, and then they put it out in the world. Maybe you're not called to teach it, but maybe God allowed you to get the experience, and then you share the experience with the person who was called to teach it. Or you might do all of it. It doesn't matter. But guys, the point is, it's genuinely no limits. And that's my whole thing. I do not want you guys to sleep on. There are no limits to how God could use you. And I want you to be open to that. Now, our third and final awesome recipient of the Black Excellence Expose for today is Miss Fannie Lou Hammer. She was born October 6th, 1917. On March 14th, 1977. Man, that was my mom's birthday, March 14th. That's pretty cool. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Miss Hammer. She was a voting rights activist, a civil rights leader, and a philanthropist. She worked for the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, and it's also known as the SNCC. She helped poor and needy families in her Mississippi community. She was the vice chair of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, which is known as the MFDP. And she was elected as a National Democratic Party delegate in 1972. She died on March 14, 1977. And according to the New York Times, they said, and I quote, "None of us would be where we are today had she not been here then." Wow. And the fact that the New York Times acknowledged that about her, that literally speaks volumes about her, especially at that time in the world. That was in the 70s. That was the late 70s by then. So, that was quite an accomplishment, to say the least. Wow. I would encourage you also, guys, everybody that I talk about on here, go do a little more research, find out more about them, and especially if I mention your hometown or your city, and it's somebody that you didn't even know existed from where you're from. That's always a good little tip too. That's also something good. Any adults listening, it's also good to share that with the youth, because sometimes, you may be from somewhere and you may not know any notables or anybody that you feel, maybe has done anything in the world that anyone knows about, and you can share that with them. If you are a youth listening to this, I want you to make sure you listen and share it with your friends. And maybe you guys could come up with an idea that can help you come up with some invention, or maybe some type of group, or, you may come up with something that you want to do to give back so that you can also be heard, because your voice is so incredibly valuable, guys, more valuable than you know. Please believe me when I tell you that. So I'm going to leave you guys with the last question of the day. And the question is very simple. What can you bring to the world in your own unique way? There is something about you. This is the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast, where I inspire you to live your authentic purpose. What is it that's authentic about you? Again, no comparing to other people. No stuff like, oh, well, I want to write songs, but they write songs. There is nothing new under the sun. And I've said this before on my regular podcast, and I'm going to say it today on here. We cannot reinvent the wheel, but you can put rims on it. So look at it like that. Don't worry about everybody with wheels. Everybody has wheels. Don't even trip about that. But what can you put on your wheel? What kind of rim could you put on your wheel? Because that'll be your own. Nobody else will have that. So think about that, guys. I so appreciate you all being with me, talking about all of the different dope people and the Black excellence that's going on all around us daily. And guys, I want to let you all know, if you want to suggest anybody to me to talk about, it don't have to be nobody famous that you can Google. Just somebody you know who's doing something dope. Let me know. Send an email to bbe@imwiredtoinspire.com, and I will definitely feature them. Make sure when you email me their bio and any information that you think is of value, their website, whatever you want to share, and I will definitely put them on here. That is without a doubt. And I especially love those who are doing things active in the community. They either have books or careers where, they can share their information. People can maybe research them or meet them, or if they have events, they can go to their events. Let's go ahead and get this thing interactive, guys. Because I can only find who I find and who God leads me to look up, and who he brings to me. So that's where you guys come in. This is not just about me. We want to try to help as many people as possible. And there's so many people that are not in the limelight that are doing incredible things in the community. So please, by all means, share that with your girl. I look forward to it. May God bless you and keep you. Now, you guys stick around. I have a giveaway. I will be doing a giveaway every month in the year of 2018, and I have the instructions coming up next.
It's the I'm Wired to Inspire podcast giveaway. Stay tuned for instructions.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining me for the February contest instructions for the I'm Wired to Inspire contest giveaway. Now, this particular contest is specifically for Instagram. I will be making a post and it will be speaking of this contest, and then you're going to repost it and tag 3 friends that inspire you for a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. 2 winners will be chosen. You must be following at robinicolek, that's one word, 1 N, and I'm Wired to Inspire for your entry to be valid. We must be tagged in your photo for us to see it. Good luck.
Thanks for listening to I'm Wired to Inspire podcast at imwiredtoinspire.com. If you enjoyed the show, spread the word and be sure to hit the 5-star rating on iTunes. For more information on this podcast and inspirational products and services, log on to the inspirationspecialist.life or imwiredtoinspire.com. And remember to live your authentic purpose. Thanks again, and see you next time.